All right, let me tell you how I like to fish the Yum Houdini shad when I'm fishing a lot of lily pads like this. What I like to do is I like to target areas that are open. So if I'm casting, try to cast in an open area where I can just swim that bait right on top, keep it up right above the surface, and pop it right over these pads. And what that's going to do, it's going to get the attention of that bass sitting in there. And it looks like a natural bait fish. So when you're working it through real slow, and just depending on the condition, on whether they're aggressive or not aggressive, you can work this bait real slow and just let it sink in these pockets where these lily pads are sitting, or you can burn it through there. Also creating, which is a great thing because you can actually see the fish either come up and wake behind it and blow up on it. When you're fishing this bait, you want to keep the rod tip up. And what that does is it allows the bait to fall right over these lily pads. These lily pads have V's, so you want to try to maneuver it through these lanes to get it through there so you don't get hung up. And if you do get hung up, just give it a little pop and it pops right out of that V. Now when you do this, you're basically getting into areas that another bait can't get into, and these fish are in there. They're gonna come up and they're gonna bite this bait. There we go. Nice fish, nice fish. Get him out of the pads. There he is. Yum Houdini shad. Get him out, come on. Yum Houdini shad. I tell you what, there's no other bait that beats this. Soft plastic jerk bait. This is what it produces right here. Real nice fish. I'm gonna let him go. Yum Houdini shad. You just can't beat it. Right out of the package, you get 4 different presentations. Let me show you a few ways how I like to rig this bait. One of the most common mistakes that anglers make is they use too small of a hook when they're fishing these baits. I use a 5/0 extra wide gap hook on these baits just to get a better hook percentage when I'm fishing this bait. Now, there are different ways you can fish this bait. You can fish this with a weight, you can fish it with no weight, Carolina rig. You can even flip this bait and catch fish. It's a lot of different presentations. And you know, Yum has set themselves apart when they made this bait because, like I said, 4 different presentations out of one bait. And what it does is right out of the package, it comes in a full paddle tail. And the full paddle tail actually gives it a slow fall. Or if you're working it over pads, you can keep it on top and it helps it keep it on the surface. But it also gives it a slow fall for a slow presentation. Another way you can modify this bait is they've actually perforated the center diamond cut, and you can take that piece out and give it a fast fall. So if you're fishing it with a weight, Texas rig or a Carolina rig, actually gives it a faster fall and a better action on the tail. Another way you can fish this bait is with a slit or a quarter paddle tail. And what that does, it gives it that swim bait effect or a buzz bait effect. That you can use this presentation in these pads and actually attract more fish to bite. And last is a traditional V. The traditional V is just taking the center cut out and then cutting the bait so it has the V at the tail, giving it a fast action. So whenever you get a chance, purchase one of these Yum Houdini shads and I promise you'll catch a lot more fish.